become an elite level athlete? Well, look no further. The Reclaim Your Throne Elite D1 training course is all you need to take your performance from subpar to the creme de la creme of athletes all around the world. The purpose of this course is to give you a comprehensive weight training, speed, flexibility, recovery, and endurance program that is meant to prepare young athletes for collegiate and professional sports. This course is packed with over 2 hours of creative, action-packed lifts narrated and coached by yours truly to assure increased strength, speed, flexibility, recovery, and endurance. Hey, I get it. Training alone can be tough and can even make you feel misguided or somewhat unmotivated. But with this course, I walk you step by step through each and every lift to make sure you're using the proper form to prevent injuries and that you're hitting the correct muscle groups to render maximum results. So what are you waiting for? It's now or never. So go ahead and get the training course today so you too can reclaim your throne.
What up? What up? What up? Hey, man. Whew. It has been a very interesting week. Sorry, I just ran here because I had to open the door real quick. So I'm trying to catch my breath. But been a very interesting week. I am still waiting on my monetization from damn, I sound like a fat nigga. I'm still waiting on my monetization from YouTube because they're still playing with me. I applied August 19th. It is now October 9th, and they're supposed to respond to you within 30 days. So let's just do the math. All right, so how many days? 8 days from. So it's 51 days. They've taken literally 51 days to respond. They're 21 days late to respond to my application for monetization on YouTube. So that's concerning. We are live on Twitch. We are live on YouTube, and we are live on X. So shout out to all my viewers, wherever you're watching from. I just want to break down some female nature videos. I've got so many videos that I've posted on my Twitter that I want to break down and just document for my YouTube page. I'm going to start going a lot harder as well on YouTube with the streaming and stuff, you know, because I feel like I'm one of the most underrated, unmatched streamers. You know, that's just me. Obviously, we don't do too much flash. We get into the real nitty gritty. And one of the first stories I want to comment on is the Duke Dennis story. Duke Dennis has actually found himself a white girl, okay? He now is going on dates, showing himself publicly with a white woman. Apparently, she is German. And he's getting a lot of flack. He's getting a lot of pushback on X in particular with this. But the reality is, you got a lot of women who were talking shit about Duke Dennis literally just a week ago. About a week ago, literally just a week ago. They were talking crap on Duke Dennis' name. They were saying that, oh, I don't know what I saw in him. He was ugly, all this kind of stuff. It's literally on TikTok. So if you look on TikTok, hold on, my video started playing. But yeah, if you look on TikTok, you will see that there's going to be a whole bunch of people in the comment section of this video, in particularly black women in the video, calling him ugly. Okay, so we're going to break this down real quick. And we don't even have to listen to this video. He's breaking down his DMs here with some other YouTube guy. So you see he's breaking down his DMs. I'm not really concerned as to what he's actually saying. That's not the relevant point here. The point is to point out the women who are now talking crap about him, saying he's ugly and all this kind of stuff. And here's the thing. Duke Dennis is a Malcolm. He's a mildly attractive, lucrative, communicative, operational, likable man. However, when you've got money, when you've got status, your attraction level goes up to women. So they're perceiving him. Like I said, when we talk about Thug Max Alpha Simps, Duke Dennis completely thug maxed. Duke Dennis completely thug maxed. Okay. He became thug maxed, and that is what attracted the sisters, because if you listen to the way that he talks, you could tell he's not like no hood thug nigga, right? You could tell he's not that. Like, let's listen to his voice. 1 second.
Compliments.
Okay.
Right now.
What do you mean by that?
Like seeing like compliments
About yourself?
Yeah, right now. Cause it's like a newfound thing. Like, cause my support system was 90% male
Mm-hmm.
and 10% women.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's like 50-50.
Wow.
So it's like a newfound, like, it's like refreshing to see like compliments and not seeing like trolls.
Mm.
Okay, so I mean, he just sounds like a country ninja. I don't know if he's from the South. I don't really know where he's from, but he sounds more country. He doesn't have the Thug Max Alpha Simp dialect. Okay, and if you guys don't know what the Thug Max Alpha Simp dialect is, it's, you know what I'm saying, like the Thug Max Alpha Simp dialect. Like, y'all feel what I'm saying? Like when you go to Atlanta and shit like that, and you be hearing niggas speaking and shit. Like, this really how we getting down. Like, this really how we, hey, man, on some real shit, bro. Like, this is really, like, really what we talking about, bro. Like, type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, if a nigga don't talk like this type shit, then shit, good luck with the bitches, nigga. You ain't finna get shit. You ain't finna get nothing, okay? And Charleston White, he's almost like an embodiment of the country Thug Max Alpha Simp, because he kind of has that accent, too. So he's like a country version. So that's another reference. But it's pretty much the Atlanta slang, Atlanta dialect. Let's see. But yeah, it's pretty much like the Atlanta slang, Atlanta dialect. And Duke Dennis doesn't have that. But what he does have is the thug maxed appearance. Okay. He's got the thug max appearance. And what do I mean by thug max appearance? Well, he got the gangsta grizzles in his teeth. He got the Jordans, the Oregon Duck 5s on is what it appears to be. So he got the Jordans on. He's got the gangsta grizzles. He usually wears a chain. He usually wears a watch. He usually wears some type of ice, some type of jewelry. And this is what brings his appeal or his sexual marketplace value so high in the eyes of Black women specifically. However, he does not have the Thug Max Alpha Simp personality. So when he has dealings and interactions with women, he does not expect them to be hostile. He does not expect to be going back and forth. He does not expect to be beefing with no chicks. He doesn't expect that. And I'm sure that he has come across many sisters in the community who are challenging him. When Duke Dennis is successful on his own, he's successful. Honestly, I don't even know how he became successful. I guess he's a streamer or YouTuber or something. I don't really know. But, I mean, my point is that he was probably attracted to all attractive women like most men are. But when it comes down to a long-term relationship, your sanctity, your peace, your solace, a place you can call home, he obviously did not find that in No Sisters, because I haven't really seen him actually pop out and appear to cuff one of these chicks. Now, we did see a picture of him with Ash Cash or Oshkosh, however you say it, at McDonald's. And that's a chick who is probably one of those chicks who go, oh yeah, take me out to SDK, take me. But when it comes down to Duke Dennis, a guy who is more clouded up than her, then yeah, we can go to McDonald's. That's the game, fellas. That's the game. That's what you have to realize is happening right now. So you have a lot of women who were calling Duke Dennis ugly in this post. Let's watch. We got Ariana Lachey, obviously a sister. She says, nah, because everyone in the comments talking about he looked different now. Duke Dennis has always looked this way to me, and I never saw what y'all saw in him. So she's saying she never thought that Duke Dennis was attractive. And I'm just going to scroll down her page really quickly. I'm not going to lie. Shorty literally looks like Lizzo in the face. She looks like Lizzo in the face with a slightly smaller body, but she's also still overweight. And, you know, I don't want to harp on who this woman is, but I'm trying to show you guys the type of women who are calling Duke Dennis ugly. Okay? These are the types of women who are calling Duke Dennis ugly. Now, does Duke Dennis feel like he's missing anything? I certainly would not. But, you know, also I'm not him. But I just want to give you guys perspective as to the types of women who are calling Duke Dennis ugly. Now, I mean, I don't know what she got going on. I'm pretty sure that's not her real hair. You know, and it's not like she's super attractive. So when you guys are online and you have interactions with these women and they're calling you ugly, dude, don't take it to heart. Who gives a fuck? Because these hoes themselves do not look good. A lot of times they don't look good. Somebody says, y'all can have Duke because I want Speedy real bad. So they're talking about the light-skinned dude. Now, people could also perceive this as colorism, but we won't get into that because we don't make these excuses. We say, hey, I'm not attractive. Hey, I'm not this. I'm not that to this. Okay, cool. That's cool. Shout out to House of Lamar. He says, finally alive. Yeah, man. We're about to go live a lot more. Shout out to Hot Boy Cliff 786. He sends a check mark. He's in the X stream. So shout out to Hot Boy. Guys, make sure y'all hit the Cash App. Make sure y'all hit the PayPal. Show some love. Show some support. It's not easy running these channels. It's not easy, you know, doing what I do, editing the videos and all this kind of stuff. So when YouTube playing with the monetization, we have to figure out other ways to make the ship keep floating. He literally talking about compliments and y'all are dragging him. Wow. Somebody said, that's not Duke, is it? Okay. He looked like he don't have makeup on here. I don't know how to explain it. Coming from Brie Blanco. Now let's look at what she looks like. I mean, without the makeup, it's rough. Without the makeup, she looks very masculine. She's got the BBL, maybe a boob job. It might be natural. Busty young lady, but she's talking that mess about Duke Dennis. Okay, so they're switching up on Duke Dennis. The community, black women in particular, are switching up on Duke Dennis. So it's no wonder why you see him pop out with a snow bunny. It's no wonder why you see him pop out with a blonde-haired, blue-eyed young lady with all natural hair, and you see the cross. Now, we know, you know, we're very critical of the women who wear crosses if they're not actually Christians, but at least she's trying to be a Christian, or she's presenting herself to be a Christian, and he found him a blonde-haired, blue-eyed Christian white woman, and social media is losing their damn minds. Just like on my Twitter feed, guys, if you go to my Twitter feed, you will see social media are losing their damn minds about your boy, Reclaim. Okay? So they're going crazy on Reclaim. They're doing some very suspect things that go against TOS in an effort to hinder me, in an effort to silence me, in an effort to destroy my credibility, in an effort to you know, completely take me out, in an effort to censor me. And we're not going to allow it to happen. But I do want to continue to speak on this Duke Dennis situation because the reality is he was looking for peace. He was looking for solace. He was looking for someone to, just be there for him. And I'm sure that he was not able to find that in the community. Oh, it hurts. Oh, I know it hurts. Oh, I know it hurts that I'm saying this and all this kind of stuff, but let's keep it a buck. Look at the smile from ear to ear. Who in the community are you going to get that from? The smile from ear to ear. She got this brother smiling.
I mean, you always look good, so.
All right. And listen, man.
You always look good. You heard her. She's complimenting him. She's attracted to him. She said he always looks good. Very, very contrary. Let me fix my camera. Sorry. Contrary to what sisters online were saying about him just as early as last week. So this young lady says, you always look good. I ain't worried about that. You always on fleek. You always put that shit on. And you see how he reacts. All smiles. Same as her. All smiles. Guys, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. The fluidity in the relationship. The fluidity in the relationship. There's no friction. There's no friction that we can see, of course. We don't know what happens behind closed doors, but the brother looks happy, man. We want to congratulate that.
We just getting something to eat right now. After this, we finna go to motherfucking Oktoberfest. They have a big ass, stupid ass beer. I ain't never drunk this before, so.
I hate beer. But. I know.
Yeah.
Here's another thing. The brother says, oh, I've never drank beer before. If you don't drink, it gives these women the ick, especially these modern women. If you are disciplined, if you don't drink, if you care about your health, it gives a lot of these women the ick. Okay? So he said he never drank before. And I'm sure that came up in conversation with previous dates, previous love interests.
I know.
Yeah. I just raised a toast.
Hate it, right?
This shit is nasty as a motherfucker. I don't like that right there. You gotta lock eyes.
Yeah.
All right. Ready? This is a lot right here. Yeah, this is a lot. Right.
Look at how she's holding him. Look at how she's holding him. Holding on for dear life. Guys, I'm telling you, it's a whole nother world, baby. It's a whole nother world for a productive Malcolm. It's a whole nother world. It's a whole nother experience. A whole new world. Head ass. I'm telling y'all. But people don't want to believe me. People want to see it, act like I'm talking out my ass. Look at how she's holding them. Look at the body language. Look at how she's leaning in. Guys, figure out what you're missing in your life, man. Find out what you're missing in your life, because this could be it. This could be it.
Right here. So I'm trying not to lose you. All of these people right here.
Thank you for pushing me away.
Yeah.
Give me that juice.
Second row, third from the left, man. You know what I'm saying? Oh my gosh.
Purple thing.
Hey, me and her holding hands right now because she gonna get lost if I don't. We gotta give a fucking disclaimer right now. But why the hell did I agree to get on here? I ain't that scared.
So it looks like he's on an enclosed Ferris wheel. Okay. And he's able to be himself. He didn't like the beer. He spit it out. Most women would be like, you're a pussy. How are you not able to drink alcohol and you spitting it out like a girl? Tell me if you take down a shot in a hood club in College Park and them sisters get to seeing you go leaning over the section and spitting out the alcohol, they gonna think you a bitch. Tell me I'm lying. But guess what? Duke Dennis, I drank the beer. I don't like the beer. I spit it out. The white woman says, oh, I don't like it either. She puts it down. They keep it moving. Right? They get on the Ferris wheel, the enclosed Ferris wheel. He says, I don't even know how you convinced me to get on here. I'm scared of heights. The white woman she looks over to comfort him. Not saying that this will be every woman, every white chick, every Hispanic chick, every woman that you meet overseas, right? But let me tell you what. There's a different level of empathy coming out of other communities that, quite frankly, black women just don't have for black men. And how do I know? Because I've been a victim of the onslaught of attacks from these same women. The viciousness, the nastiness, the lies, the deception, the deceit. Right? This can come from any woman, but in particular, in this scenario, we're talking about, okay, what pushed Duke Dennis to deal with this blonde-haired, blue-eyed German woman?
You lying?
You say what?
You lying?
I got being scared.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to get.
So he literally tells her that he's scared, and she's okay with it. She ain't judging. I'm saying, you a bitch ass nigga. We went on the Ferris wheel and you was scared as hell. Oh, hoe ass nigga. Now tell me that's not the response that you would get if he was in the same scenario with us. Says, come on, bruh.
Get out and leave. Wait, have all y'all been following us the whole time? For the Asian man. He say for the Asian man. That's crazy. Everybody is stepping on Gino right now. Okay. I'm in Germany right now. I'm living life right now. I'm a real hood nigga at the end of the day. 203,000 likes. Just because I asked you to. Don't know fuck. I know there ain't no reason.
Oh yeah, she put that shit on right there. You see, she came with the old traditional German garb. I mean, Buddy is drowning in milk right now.
Just because I asked you to. Don't know fuck. I know there ain't no reason for this shit.
See, she don't even understand. She don't understand a nigga popping his shit neither. That's where you want to be at. That's where you want to be at. Where she don't understand the hood language. That's where I want to be at. You talk about some type shit. You talk about some, you know what I'm saying? She's like, what do you mean? So as you can see, black male simp from Twitter, Light Jones, apparently. He says, LMAO, shit be funny as hell. Seeing white women steal all these elite black men, black women slacking. So he was actually big upping Duke Dennis. My bad, Light Jones. I thought he was talking shit. But let's get into these comments here. So you see certain people who hate to see this. A lot of dudes is flexing they snow bunnies in Germany. Oh wow, they put her Instagram up there, all that kind of stuff. Let's go back to the oh man. So he got the little Kwanzaa KKK garb on. It's pretty funny. So you got to scroll pretty deep to find any disrespect. But somebody said he sounds like a F word. He says, I'll knock you out. Somebody says that demographic literally turned on him 2 weeks ago. They're nothing but a bunch of sheeps. Absolutely. That's what I was pointing out. See, they're going to be upset and you know, with a big Twitter page like this, you're going to have to dig pretty deep to get somewhere. But we can also look at the chick that he popped out with. We can also check out what she got going on the gram. It looks like she's definitely certified full German blood. Okay, so here's his first New York girl, apparently. Let me see what she's talking about. Okay, so look at the stark contrast. And then this ain't even a sister. It looks like maybe a Puerto Rican, Dominican, Afro-Latina chick from New York. But just a westernized American woman in general, you have to get away from. Watch this.
Don't talk to me and then go talk to somebody else. No.
Whoa. Say it one more time.
So she literally has a face tattoo talking about some don't talk to me and then go talk to somebody else. Who the hell is this bitch talking to? He could have easily flexed, I'm Duke Dennis. Who the fuck you talking to? But he is a Malcolm, mildly attractive, lucrative, communicative, operational, likable man. Okay? All right? He's a Malcolm. So he's going to approach the situation in respect. But look at the stark contrast between his interaction with the German elite attractiveness German woman. Okay? I'm talking about elite. And this woman is also attractive, but she has a face tattoo and she's westernized. Her attitude, her demeanor, the way that she relates herself, okay, to this man it's not attractive. It's masculine. It is masculine. So let's watch.
Said, don't go sit and be in my face and talk to me and then go talk to somebody else. I'm not gonna lie,
A New York girl, bro, just tried to choke me, bro. Hey,
I'm gonna aggressive shit.
yeah. She said what? She said, ain't no way you just left me and start talking to another bitch.
Welcome home.
don't talk to me and then go talk.
So him and Kai, you know, they laughing around. He said, welcome home. So here's the woman that Duke Dennis was seen popping out with. Let's look at the story. Okay. Here's the woman who Duke Dennis was seen popping out with. This is a W. You can tell by the IG, it's a different vibe. It's a different demeanor. You feel safe. You feel comfortable. Okay? I mean, there's no argument. There's no argument against it. There is no argument against it. Right? You can either have this or a New York bitch in your face talking about some, don't be all up in my face talking to me and then you gonna talk to somebody else. Nigga. Nigga, we ain't gonna do that. You can either have this or this.
Don't talk to me and then go talk to somebody else. No.
Whoa. Say it one more time.
I said, don't go sit and be in my face and talk to me and then go talk to somebody else. I'm not gonna lie,
A New York girl, bro, just tried to choke me, bro.
So you heard what he said. Now imagine if a black man went up to a black woman and said, don't act like you just gonna pull up on me and then talk to me. And you imagine if a black man said that to a black woman. They're gonna be like, he's controlling, he's possessive, he's this, he's that. Tell me I'm lying. So the hypocrisy is there. The hypocrisy is there. And all the reasons to walk away from the masculine, westernized sister are there. But they will shame you. Because, well, if you love somebody else, don't be talking about us in the process. Nobody's talking about it. We're comparing and contrasting. We are comparing and contrasting. And the reality is, y'all were hating on Duke Dennis 2 weeks ago. Y'all were hating on Duke Dennis 2 weeks ago. Let me repeat. Y'all were hating on Duke Dennis 2 weeks ago. Then he comes and goes to Germany, pops out with a white woman, and now everybody upset. Okay? Now everybody's upset. Now watch this. Watch this. Look at this comment. Duke Dennis was having an unforgettable time with his German girlfriend at Oktoberfest. She introduced him to the vibrant atmosphere, traditional music, and for the first time, the taste of beer as they explored the festival together. He tried different brews, indulged in delicious German cuisine, and even joined in on the lively dancing. The adventure was filled with laughter and new experiences, making it a memorable day that deepened their connection and gave him a taste of German culture. Now, isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful? And you see the brothers in the comments, so you can't deny this one. You can't deny this one. She's so bad, dog. Holy shit. You can't deny this one. And the narrative is, oh, well, black men are getting the women that these white men don't want. On the contrary. On the contrary. Okay? So, I mean, we've got all the evidence that we need to prove our point. And we're not basing it off of, oh, these bot pages. We're putting a face behind the comment. We're putting a face behind the comment because a lot of times these sisters, they will try and say, oh, well, black men are saying this, black men are saying that. And it's really just troll accounts. It's not even black men, right? It's not even black men behind a lot of these accounts. But anyways, let's keep it moving. I appreciate you guys for joining me on that segment about Duke Dennis. Okay. So what we're going to do now is transition to another topic. I just need to get a whole bunch of videos out of my backlog because I got so much. Now we're going to switch to a little more politically driven theme. Okay. So
boy ain't no way, boy. Boy ain't no way, boy. Boy ain't no fucking way.
All right, so we're going to switch to something more politically driven. We're going to be talking about the 19th Amendment, women's suffrage. Was it a good thing? Was it a bad thing? And how we can maneuver with this thing moving forward. So let's get into it. We have a woman who is claiming that she is not going to vote. And what I'll do is I'll also pull up her TikTok in the background, Chisme 101. So she is basically explaining why she doesn't want to vote and why she doesn't want to speak on something that she's not educated on, which I actually agree with her perspective and how she's coming on this one. So let's listen up.
It's kind of immature if I talk about it and I'm not fully educated, but I do have an opinion and I keep it to myself. Not voting isn't crazy in my opinion at all, because if I don't feel like I have the exact education for what I'm voting for, how is it right for me to vote for something I'm not completely educated on? I could educate myself, but then again, why am I doing that if I genuinely really don't care? I'm just honest. I don't care to vote if I don't know exactly what's going on. I don't think that's wrong. And I completely stand on that, and I stand by it because, first of all, I just turned 18. I never voted before. We all know this. You can't vote until you're 18. I've never voted. if I don't want to vote, I don't have to vote. And if I don't want to be in politics, I don't have to be in politics. Why do my research on something I'm not very, like, I can educate myself. I do have an opinion. I have an opinion on what I feel is right because of what I've been seeing, and just like, I feel like one of the voters is just a mess. I mean, one of the people, the runners, candidates. See, I'm telling you, I'm not educated. I'm a little bit stupid. Like, the privilege is showing. Like, what? Because I don't want to vote? I'm not educated on it. Maybe next year I'll vote if I think it's.
So you heard what she said. She's basically insinuating that I guess Trump is the one that's insane, which, you know, we don't even have to get into the politics of that. But she's saying, why would I vote if I'm not educated on it? Now, I really don't know who this chick is, Alabama Barker. I don't know what she does, who she is. She might just be, some Instagram thought, which makes sense. She just turned 18. I genuinely never heard of her. I'm looking at her TikTok now. Probably not worth getting into deeply, but, you know, I agree. She shouldn't vote. If the bitch don't know what the fuck she's talking about, then yeah, she should not vote, okay? She should not cast a ballot for a candidate she has no idea why she's voting for them. And I'm genuinely trying to look through her page and figure out who the hell she is and how she became popping on social media. And it looks like she just, is an Instagram thought, honestly. Instagram, TikTok thought, dance thought type stuff. I mean, it's like this woman is saying the quiet part out loud. A lot of women don't know what they're talking about when it comes to voting. And the ones that do, I respect it, right? If you actually know what you're talking about. But I agree, she should not vote. If you don't know what the hell you're talking about, you should not vote. You should just play the background, play Boo Boo the Fool. And, maybe you can educate yourself next election cycle. But, man, this is the mentality, guys. This is the mentality we're dealing with. And she's self-admittedly dumb. I mean, I can respect somebody who says, yes, I'm dumb. Cool. Now we don't have to take anything that you say seriously. So let's move on. We have a woman who appears to be Southeast Asian, Indian, something to that effect. And she is claiming that you should not go through your man or your love interest, his watch history, which I don't really know what she means by watch history. Is she meaning TikTok watch history? Because I'm not going to lie, I didn't know what a watch history was on TikTok. Or is there an Instagram watch history? I mean, I'm trying to find it right now. I see the reposts, I see the saves, I see the likes, but I don't see necessarily a watch history. So, yeah, I'm not getting where that's coming from. But let's continue to break down this video. We have a woman who's saying, don't go through his watch history. So let's listen up.
I feel like I need to bring this into every girl's attention because...
Okay, so she's very quiet. I'm going to turn it up just a little bit.
This is seriously traumatic. I wanted to go through this man's phone and I gave him my passwords myself for my social media, so I didn't think it would be an issue to get his, but apparently it was.
So she gave the man her social media passwords and all that kind of stuff. and she was trying to get him to reciprocate, and he was hesitant. Now, traditionally, I would say no, don't give it up. You have hers, she doesn't have yours. That's my advice to you guys. But if you can't really pull that, if your game's not strong enough, if your money's not strong enough, if you have, got caught on some stuff before, then that's probably not going to work to sustain the relationship. I mean, you can deny it, but you might face some backlash as far as her wanting to get up out of there and leave you. So that's a possibility too. But honestly, I think you should stand on 10 and just say no, unless, you really don't care what she sees. Then it's like, okay, I don't care what you see. Either way, you got to make your decision one way or another. So let's watch.
He didn't want to give me his passwords, and the reason being so I don't see his mother's messages with him, which makes absolute no sense. And
so his justification was he doesn't want you to see his mother's messages.
And I know it was just an excuse. So I took it upon myself to meet him in person so I could go through his phone. The only thing that I really wanted to go through was his watch history. I don't even know where to start, but let's just say I fucking regretted it. I go on his TikTok and I click on his watch history, and guess.
So TikTok watch history, honestly, I didn't know that was a thing. Because TikTok has, the algorithm is, you go on For You page, the following page, the shop, and then the stem page, and then you could go live. But I really don't understand where this watch history thing is.
What, this man didn't even know what the fuck watch history was. He was like, how do you know how to work all these apps? So automatically he knew he fucked up. And I just go through the videos that he's been watching, and let me just tell you, it's like I wasn't surprised, but I was fucking heartbroken. Videos of girls upon girls, and they are white girls. And guess what? I am not white.
So he's watching probably dance videos of TikToks, basic stuff. So, okay, watch history for all my guys out there. Apparently you go to the home tab, tap profile. You go to the home tab, tap profile. In the lower right-hand corner, tap menu, the 3 lines in the upper right-hand corner. Excuse me. Go to settings and privacy. Then you tap activity center. And then it says tap watch history. Okay. But can't you just scroll? Here's my thing with the watch history thing. Anything can come up on your For You page. How does it get in your watch history even if you just swipe through it and you're not really like spending much time on that particular video? I wonder how much time it has to take for you to get something in your watch history.
And other beautiful girls on there too, but it's just like, damn, did you really love me if you're looking at all these bitches? Like,
okay, so this is what she's not understanding. And I've tried to explain this over and over again. We say it all the time on this channel. Sexual access and sexual variety is essential to a man's mental health. Just because he's watching videos of other girls that he may find attractive doesn't mean that he doesn't love you. Now, a lot of women get this conflated because when they're watching videos of other men, it means that they aren't really 100% in love with their man. So they're extrapolating their thoughts onto what they believe a man would think, like when we think totally different. A man obviously can love his woman and still have attraction and even want to be with sexually other women. Now, does that make it right? No, but biology is biology. I'm just explaining it to you objectively. The man doesn't it doesn't mean that he doesn't love you just because his watch history is a whole bunch of white chicks. Okay. So I just want to get that there, but there's a confusion and it's a misunderstanding from the female perspective.
Jesus, I was bawling. It's not even out of like insecurity too, because I know I'm pretty, but like I just said, did you really love me? And his excuse to this was, all men do that. All men look at other girls. You will always find a man that will look at other girls. And it's like, no, I know that. Like, when you're in public, guys will give a few glances at other girls passing by. Yes. A lot of men have a wandering eye.
Yo, see, and she got the smoke detector alarm. She needs a 9-volt battery. See, it ain't just black folks. You know, they always like to joke and say, oh, well, black folks need to change their smoke detector alarm. Now, I'm not saying that it's not a thing, but it's not just us. Okay. Now you see this woman, she need to change her smoke detector alarm. It usually comes from single women. Like that's whoever is on the lease, whoever is on the apartment lease, whoever owns a home. If she's a single woman, you can guarantee that smoke detector alarm is going to be chirping. I don't necessarily think it's a black thing. I think it's a single woman thing, especially single mother thing. But let's keep going.
It's actually a problem. But it's like, this was intentional. This was avoidable too.
How is it avoided? My thing is, how is it avoidable when the TikTok algorithm, you swipe and you watch a video, you swipe again and you watch a video, even if it's a video that isn't of your interest, it's still going to be in your watch history just because the algorithm says, okay, you're swiping up, you're swiping down, and you're going to come across a video that you may not be interested in, but it doesn't mean like you sat there and watched the video over and over again.
You have every power in you not to look at other girls on social media. I'm sorry. Especially like clicking on a profile, going through multiple videos, stalking a page.
So now it's stalking a page, dog. I mean, I think she's overblowing it. I really do. But this is the dilemma that we're in now. We're in a open sexual marketplace, and women have essentially cemented, reinforced, and created this open sexual marketplace.
You have every willpower not to do that. But what I'm guessing is what you had in front of you wasn't enough. So that's why you went to look at other girls. And it's like crazy to me how this wasn't considered a form of cheating. It was considered as something that is given, something that is a part of a man. And he tried convincing me, saying that it's really unavoidable. Every man will do that. But I know damn well that is not true.
All right, so she says, damn well it's not true. Okay, every man may not have TikTok, but the reality is it's literally unavoidable in this day and age to not see half-naked women on social media. It really is. It really is. Most guys are going to have a burner account where they're looking at shit. I mean, I don't know what to tell her. She can say that, oh, that's not true. That's not true. Unless you got a guy who doesn't have a phone, doesn't have Wi-Fi, and, is, I don't know, like gay or something, you're not going to find, you're just not. Unless the guy is like 50 years old and he doesn't know, I don't know how to work this contraption. That's the only time you're not going to find a dude who isn't looking at girls on social media. I'm sorry. It's the reality. You can say, oh, it's all within your control. But sometimes when you get stuck on a loop, you're just going through the loop. You're going through the loop, right? I mean, that's just the reality. I really don't know how to soothe over or smooth over her thought process on this. But reality is setting in hard for her. and she can go through as many guys' watch history as she wants. Now, honestly, if you go through my watch history, it's not like that. It's mostly like dating content because that's what's in my algorithm. But I definitely understand that men are going to come across half naked women on social media all the damn time. They're going to be scrolling. They're going to be tempted to scroll. And sometimes once you get stuck on one page, it's kind of like you might spend a couple minutes on that joint and then move on. But I mean, unless he's DMing them or commenting and saying all some crazy shit, I really, really don't think it's that big of a deal. And women post on social media for validation and attention. So she can say, oh, well, I don't like that men do this. I don't like that men do that. But if your page is thoughty and your page is basically, tempting men to lust after you, then you have to check your own privilege too. Because, I mean, let's keep it a buck. Y'all are on social media being the temptresses. Like the man, okay, he's looking at other women's pages, but he could just as easily say, you're posting the types of pictures that are tempting men to look at your pages and scroll through your pages and get stuck on your pages. So here's the text message thread. We'll get in the text message thread after the video. Let's just get through the video first.
That isn't true at all, but it has traumatized me, affected me so much that I literally can't fucking eat. Trust issues on max. I can't get out of bed. It's just like I am so deep within my thoughts because I really did trust that man. And I'm not even gonna lie, I am stupid because there were multiple signs from the beginning. This man has taken me out on dates, looked at girls in front of me, dead ass like stared like as they
Another 9-volt battery going off. Another smoke detector chirp going off. She needs a 9-volt battery.
They were walking by. And then to justify it, he would tell me the girl looks like me. That woman is white. What do you mean she looks like me?
Now that is kind of crazy. I mean, if you're in public with your girl, you probably want to refrain from having the wandering eyes. But I mean, like I said, man, the environment that has been created it's literally women's fault. They're the ones who opened up the sexual marketplace, so much so that damn near there's literally no girl online who isn't posting a bikini pic, who you can't see her body. Not one. Okay, who's actually attractive. Now, it might be some big bitches who are scared to show their bodies, but other than that, there's not one woman on social media who is not showing off their body. So you also have to take accountability and say, hey, man, maybe I'm contributing to this. And, I'm contributing to the culture of open sexuality when it comes to what's available and presenting yourself to men online.
Because he knows he's guilty. So it's like, oh, I would catch him opening his phone and it's on a girl's TikTok page as if he stalked her. So it's like, there are so many signs I ignored. I just forgave and I just kept on forgiving, and he just took advantage of it. But yeah, men ain't shit. Men ain't shit. And if you really want to get hurt, go through his watch history. But I believe what you don't see will not affect you. So ladies, if you want to stay happy, healthy, then don't go through his watch history.
Well, I mean, your nosy ass went through his watch history and you found exactly what you're looking for. I really don't feel bad because you went through the watch history knowing you was going to find some. You already said you've seen the signs. And then when you find some, you're acting like he's such a bad person when literally every single one of y'all hoes are showing your body online. So let's go through the chat, or not the chat, but the message thread, and then I'll show you her profile, and then you're gonna be like, bruh. All right, so he says, oh, let's see. All right, it says, hello, bruh, what the F? OMG, I'm crashing out. I'm going to kill myself. I can't do this, OMG. It says, huh? I just asked for your password. Calm down. Something that I already gave you. Like, okay, so she's blue text. He says, I'm going to the lake, bro. I can't do this. I'm thinking about just ending it, to be honest. Ending what? What? Because I asked you for your password? Yeah. And here's another thing. This definitely sounds like a white guy. You know, my white guys, y'all gotta start putting your foot down. Either you give her the password or don't. Either say, hell no, you ain't getting my password. I don't give a fuck if you gave me your password. And if you don't want to give me your password, then shit's over. Or you give it up and just stay quiet and just be like, hey, don't go looking for some shit that you didn't want to find. Here's the reality. He's trying to guilt trip her by saying, oh, I'm gonna delete myself. Yo, I don't know if this is like a strategy going around, like a dating strategy from men, but I think this is extremely beta. To harm yourself because of a girl is beta as fuck. And it's definitely beta male activities. He should have stood on 10. And I just so the comments are flaming him. Okay, the comments are flaming him. People saying block him now. But look at her TikTok though. Cleavage. He could have easily said, yo, I got a problem with this. In these booty shorts. Okay. This isn't that bad, but you still got her bra showing in this thing when she could have easily covered that up. She wearing this little mini skirt. Okay. With the, I don't know what this is, the little what's it called? The little knitted topping. I mean, she's definitely posting seductive pictures. Right? She's not going too crazy. It's not too bad. It's not something that I would be uptight about, but he could have easily said, well, you post the same type of pictures and the same type of videos that I'm looking at. Okay? I guess this was from him. I'll make time for you. Kid. Enjoy your rest. I'll be here staring at your pics. So he was staring at her pics too. I mean, oh wow. And then the feminist books that she's reading. Now it all makes sense. Why men love bitches, the ethical slut. Now come on. Now I wish that he would have had I genuinely wish that this man would have had a backbone. Because you need a backbone to deal with these types of chicks. But look, the leather print, going out on Halloween, all this type of stuff. Posting this seductive, she knows what she's doing, in the boy shorts with the crop top. Okay? I'm just saying, he could have easily said, yo, I got a problem with your social media. Right? Now, let me see if she's got an Instagram. Nope, doesn't look like she got an Instagram. Which, that's fine. But he could have easily told her that he had problems with the way that she was dressing. the way that she was presenting herself. But he didn't because he probably didn't care. Okay? He probably didn't care. But she's over here reading these feminist books, bro. That's an L. That's an L. Moral of the story is, if you're going to let your girl go through your phone, stand on it. Don't bitch out. Stand on it. Be like, all right, then, you know, but it's not really much you can do if she, I mean, it's not like he was DMing bitches or anything crazy like that. I definitely think it was something that they could have worked through, but, you know, she feels some type of way. But most likely she's just going to go and fuck another guy and be good, be on with it, right? The ethical slut, right? Shout out to Distant Lights. He says, we inside watching Reclaim Your Throne. Like the video. Yep, like the video, share the video, hit the Cash App, hit the PayPal. Yeah, chicks are good at finding reasons to be anxious in relationships. Sometimes it's justified to be fair. And women look for likes, compliments, approval on social media as well. Facts. He says, is that from your live? Bro needs to get a burner account. Yes, he does. The feminist books is a red flag. Yep. And then the last one from Distant Lights. She knows what she's doing to attract other men's attention, and she doesn't want her man to fall for other women's thirst traps. Exactly. So she can set a thirst trap, but when her man falls for another woman's thirst trap, then it's a problem. There you have it.
One time I went to dinner with this basketball team that was in the championship. One of the players took a really good liking to me, I guess. He takes me back to his hotel room and we don't even have sex. He just makes me eat his ass. And then he comes, which is great. So he has to leave in the morning. He says, you can sleep over with me. That's awesome. That's great. I sleep over with him. And then he wakes up in the morning. He's going to leave. He's like, you can check out isn't until later. Like, you can use the hotel room, enjoy yourself, do room service, whatever you want. I go to the bathroom and I turn on the light. I look in the mirror. He gave me fucking pink eye. Like, my eye was huge and red. It was not good. And then the next day, they won the championship.
Yo, these hoes are disgusting, bro. Now that's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, I really don't understand what these women expect when you're out here eating the asses of random men. Random men. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. I mean, this is next level insanity. Next level insanity. So as you can see, people are definitely telling her about herself. But I mean, she obviously, it just confirms what we're saying. These hoes got hella body count, 20 plus body count. They're going for celebrities and athletes. And that's just what it is, man. I'm not going to try and convince you that, oh yeah, there's a girl, you're going to find her and all that. No, bro. You have to understand the elements in the game, what's going on in today's sexual marketplace. And it's not good. Someone is going to wife her. Most likely some white dude, right? We know this. And here's the thing. I've been recently getting a lot of backlash from white dudes on my Twitter. I have, and shout out to y'all. I really have no beef with y'all. I have no beef with anybody. I just point out the nature of certain people and they get upset. Right? But these guys are acting like they're not wifing up hoes, and they especially acting like they're not wifing up women who have dealt with the bros, who have dealt with brothers, with black men. But the reality is, y'all don't even know these chicks past because you're not even inquiring about it. Like I said before, modern women have the digital footprint of an adult film actress. And most guys don't even realize that. They're overlooking it. And they're falling victim to the simp propaganda telling you, oh yeah, all is fine and marry that girl and make her an honest woman. But you haven't even figured out if she was honest yet. How can you make her an honest woman if you don't know if she is an honest woman? Because I'm gonna tell you what, putting a ring on a woman's finger does not make her honest. Okay? It doesn't. As a matter of fact, if you haven't vetted these things that have happened in her past before, it's only going to make her more deceitful. It's only going to make her more deceitful. So there you have it. The next video we got like 30 more minutes. But the next video I want to break down is of a simp. Of a simp. All right. So let's watch this.
Women are the future. Like, we're going to clean all this shit up, not just the homeless crisis, but the wars and all that stuff. Women need to take their rightful place as the ones running shit. Women are as close as you're going to get to God.
Wow.
Men can build buildings, write songs, I don't know, do expeditions to Antarctica or whatever. It's all cool shit. I'm not bashing on men. Try creating life in your womb.
Mm-hmm.
Try creating life. My mother was the closest thing I ever got to experience to God. Whether she was a good mother or not is irrelevant. My mother created me. Women need to be president. Women need to run the world.
Wow. So there you have it. I mean, that was the most simp shit that I've ever seen. That was one of the most simp shit I ever seen. Talking about the closest thing to God is a woman. I mean, that's just straight up blasphemy, bro. And I'm not even trying to say that, you know, women don't have a significant part to play in society. But to say that the closest thing to God is woman is just bullshit. The closest thing to God is man. And he gave us dominion over women and children and the fowl of the earth. This is just the facts. Now, I want to really break down what he said. Okay, there would be more peace if women were in charge. Not true at all. Not true at all. Okay. So, watch this. Nearly 500 murders in Claudia Sheinbaum's first week in office as Mexican president. So Mexico elected a small hat woman, tiny hat woman. Y'all know who I'm talking about, for president. And there have already been 500 murders in the first week. For one, to be president of Mexico, you have to do a deal with the cartel, which I pointed out here in this X post. I told you guys she did a deal with the devil, the cartel. She's worse than any male president imaginable. I thought women would bring peace to their nations once they got power. Instead, they spread their legs. I meant metaphorically, but it came out as methodically. I guess it was a typo. To the most vicious, dominant men at the time. Methodically doesn't make it wrong either, but I really meant to say metaphorically. But y'all get what I'm saying. They say we'll get peace. They say we'll get prosperity. They say that women will stop the violence, but there's 500 murders in the first week, and it's because she's weak. She is, probably a globalist shill who is enabling this type of stuff. You have to make a deal with the cartel to become you got to make a deal with the cartel to become a president, a mayor of anything in Mexico. You see what happened to the other mayor. He got his head chopped off and they put it on top of a car. Now, I'm not going to show you that image, but it's safe to say that anyone who gets into power in Mexico is deeply tied in, plugged in, however you want to call it, with the cartels. And she is no different. And as a matter of fact, she's more likely to even sell out to the cartels because she has fear. She can't fight her beliefs with her own hands. She can't fight them with her own physicality. She needs men to protect her ideas and her thoughts and her policies. And I mean, she knew that it was going to be a lot of pushback getting into office if she wasn't playing ball with the cartels. And she essentially folded to the cartels, and now they're killing 500 people a week. 500 people a week. Now you can't tell me things are going to be, because nobody looks at a female leader, female president as strong. Militarily, emotionally, mentally. It just don't, man. And this is not like to bash. It is to educate. Distant Light says, I swear I read somewhere that women leaders are more likely to start wars, like there were studies made. Yep, that's true. Between 1875 and 2004, they found that 36% of the female leaders initiated at least one militarized dispute, while only 30% of male leaders did the same. This is just a taste of what I fear will happen under Kamala Harris leadership. Yeah, I really hope, Kamala is not elected. I really do. That's why you guys got to vote. That's why you guys got to go out there. But obviously, this isn't my political channel, so I'm not going to get too deep in it. But I will say a woman leading the United States of America, what's supposed to be the largest superpower in the world, will end in total disaster. Now, here's the last video that we're going to break down for today. And I appreciate all 101 of you guys who joined the stream. This stream will be re-uploaded to YouTube, so don't worry if you missed it, or if you're coming in late, or you want to spin the block back around. Then, go ahead and go to the YouTube channel, #ReclaimYourThrone. But let's watch this video. Let's break it down. 7-minute video. She's talking about placeholder girlfriends, so it's going to be the last one that we do. A lot of these chicks talk about placeholder boyfriends, right? A lot of these dudes talk about placeholder boyfriend, or these chicks talk about placeholder boyfriends. Now we're going to talk about placeholder girlfriends.
Okay, so I'm not giving dating advice. I'm just observing the dating scene. And this is not something that is necessarily applicable across the board. Very few things rarely are. But this specific dating dynamic that I have seen, that I have sort of experienced, but not really, and then also a lot of people have conversations about, is the woman who's in her mid to late 20s dating a guy in his late 20s, early 30s. She thinks that because he is close to 30, that he's ready to settle down. And because he might do boyfriend things like take her out for dinner, maybe even talk about wanting to settle down, wanting a family. And honestly, most men just say this, but just because they say it doesn't mean that they necessarily want that with you, okay? So never assume that that is the case, especially if the guy is in his early 30s. And because this guy is, just a little bit more financially liquid than a guy that's in his early 20s, it looks like he's moving in the direction of settling down right now. But the thing about your late 20s, early 30s, for people of all genders, is that if you are someone that's looking to build a career, or you are kind of like on a specific trajectory in your career, it's usually a very crucial time, because maybe you've already been at university, you've had a few years of work experience, you've maybe tried a few different jobs or positions, and you might have like a pretty decent resume or network and set of experiences that you can build off on for the next phase of your life, okay? And what women especially don't usually think about, because they're conditioned very differently to men, is understanding that it takes energy to work on your career and to be in a healthy relationship, or to just date in general, okay? And you usually as a woman are going to be giving up so much more of your emotional energy, especially, and also risking your physical health when you are dating a man. This isn't like a good or a bad thing. This is just how it is, okay? So recognize the situation at hand and then move accordingly. And you have a limited amount of energy, okay? As a woman, as a person, you do not have an endless amount of energy to just give. And when you're younger as a woman, this is usually preyed upon, and you can get into people pleasing tendencies and not know what your boundaries are and just assume because you love someone, because you care about someone, that you're just going to make yourself available to them all the time. If on top of that, you also are looking to be in a serious or committed relationship, you might think the more energy that you give a man, the more likely he's going to see your value and want to commit to you or realize that you're wifey material. But men are just built and conditioned in a way where they are much more rational about how much energy they do and don't have to dedicate to certain things in their lives. And because men, for way more generations than women, have been conditioned to think about whether they can provide, have their financial status tied to their self-worth, have their career trajectory directly affect their personal decision making, a lot of men at any age, but especially in this particular age bracket, like late 20s, early 30s, they are going through a very serious shift in their career and in their priorities. And they might not necessarily be aware of the fact that for them to be in the type of committed relationship that they imagine with the type of woman that they imagine, they are just in reality not there yet. That's maybe something that they could achieve when they're 35 in a few years if they are smart about the like moves that they make in their career. But this like early 30s phase is like peak delusion for a lot of men because they are not yet at a stable place in their career, which is okay. Like that's just how things play out. Time needs to pass, more experience needs to be garnered. It's okay. They don't feel stable in their finances, yet they want to be with like their dream girl, but they don't think they can afford her. Like on some level, they know they're not financially ready for that. But men can't be alone, so they still want to date, they still want to fuck around. And a lot of them are very conflicted between wanting to still be a playboy and thinking that they have to be settling down. And like the guy friends that I know, some of them are aware of this and others are not. And I tell
So, I mean, what she's saying actually does make sense. You have men who are going into their early 30s and they're trying to figure out where they should be in life. Ultimately, guys, I would just say you need to focus on getting your ish together first and foremost. You don't want to be out here and allowing these chicks to shape your decision making that will ultimately affect you for the rest of your life. Because most of these chicks, they will literally get married to you and then divorce you a couple years later, and they don't care what happens to you afterwards. So yes, a lot of women are going to be pushing for marriage if they're in the same age group that you're in. But the reality is, you don't have to comply with this, bro. You don't have to comply with this. You can SYSBM, you can MGTO dub, you can go monk mode. But it's way better to just avoid these marriages, especially as you are building. Now, if you're already established and you're willing to take that risk, hey, be my guest. But in this day and age, I cannot, in good conscience, advise a man to get married to one of these modern women. I really can't, because it's just a lot of the social dynamics in society today, they just are not favorable towards men. And even you have women who are doing unfavorable things towards men, and then you got the beta male men who are doing things unfavorable towards men, and you got simps. I mean, I got a simp in my DMs right now talking about, I hate your views. Like, dude, you're a fucking, I'm not going to say the word, but these guys are mad feminine, bro. Over here getting in my DMs, crying about mean tweets. It's hilarious, but this is how these beta cucks act. So if you're thinking that you're going to mess around, get married, and then when you get divorced, you're going to have male support, no. Especially those male attorneys. They're vicious. They're sharks. They're out for blood. They have a bloodlust, and you don't want to get caught up in that. I cannot, in good conscience, advise a man to get married in 2024. I really can't. especially if you're going to do it through the state. Now, if you're just going to do a ceremony and do, some type of religious union, even with that, you got common law marriages that can essentially effectively register to the state as if you are in a actual marriage. So you need to look that up and make sure you understand the laws in your state and your jurisdiction. But a lot of things are just not going good for men, right? So Distant Light says, I don't know what this lady is talking about. I know a significant number of my friends are settling down and starting or having families already at 29. They might feel like they made a mistake rushing marriage so early in a relationship and then divorce, I guess. In hindsight, the people that linked together while in college had the right idea. Yeah. And here's the thing. Most men are marriage minded, but this is why that is so dangerous for men, because most men are marriage minded and they want to get married before the women. The women are the ones who want to stay in the streets. The women are the ones who want to stay single till they're 30 and establish their career and have their fun. And most of the men are marriage minded at a young age, but then they get convinced out of that because they see how the women their age act. And they're like, if I get married now to one of these chicks, I'm going to be miserable.
I tell them, like, you can just lean into being a playboy if that's what you have the capacity for. Like, don't pretend that you want something that you are not actually able to provide for someone. Like, leave women who actually want to be in a serious relationship alone if that's not what you actually want and just what you think you want. Okay? Because there are other women out there who are happy to just have something casual and it not be that serious. But again, like, a lot of men have been conditioned to seek relationships that have this like unequal balance of power, or they only want to hook up with women who they maybe don't respect that much or wouldn't be able to see as a long-term partner, but they also want to date someone that's their equal, but they're not like aware and realistic about who their equal actually is. So if you're a woman, I would suggest that if you're in your late 20s, early 30s, and you are looking to settle down, only date men that seem confident and stable in their financial position. And I don't necessarily mean this in terms of like, because he's going to pay for everything. Like, everyone's relationship can.
Sure, you don't. And that's what they oh, he's stable financially. That's the first thing you said. But then it's like, oh, well, I don't mean he's going to pay for everything. Bruh.
Divide finances however they want, but like a man's relationship to his status, to his career, like, you just can't be in a healthy relationship with anyone that's stingy with their time or with their effort. And a lot of the times men in this transition period of their life are thinking and calculating very closely, like how much money they're willing to spend on dating and relationships, how much money they need to be saving for the future. There are some high earning men in this age bracket, but that's definitely an exception. So I'm not talking about exceptions. I'm just saying generally in this specific dynamic, if you are a woman in your late 20s and early 30s on the receiving end of this kind of behavior, don't tolerate mistreatment and disrespect from a guy who says he wants to settle down if you want to settle down. Like, literally ask yourself if you would be okay with this guy being the father of your children. Does he seem capable of doing that? In spite of the fact that he can't even respect you, who would be the potential mother of his children? Like, you need to ask yourself this question. And then if you're a guy going through this, just be honest with yourself about where you're at in your career and what you want and are willing to give in your relationships, and then date accordingly, instead of deluding yourself into thinking that you have to want something that you think society requires of you, or that you're not a man if you don't have like a committed relationship, even though you're not ready for one. Like, it's better to just be honest and upfront and ensure that you are having like consensual, compatible, healthily communicated relationships than to mess people around, because that karma will come back to you.
But here's the problem, dude. You can literally tell a woman, hey, I'm not ready to settle down right now, whatever. And she thinks that she can convince you otherwise because she thinks that her pussy is a golden pussy and she got the golden goose in between her legs. And I'm just saying, a lot of chicks think, oh, well, if he's honest with me and straight up, then I'll be fine. I'm not going to get that attached. And then once y'all start dating, once y'all start fucking, once y'all start crossing wires, then she's going to get attached. She's going to look at you as a F-boy because you didn't commit to her, even though you told her that initially that you didn't want to commit.
You tenfold, okay? Like, you're only playing yourself at the end of the day when you move in a way that is like disrespectful and not authentic. So I could talk about this particular dynamic all day because it is very much present around me right now. But let me know your thoughts and let's keep discussing.
So that was a good video to end on. Ultimately, we all know what's going on right now when it comes to the sexual marketplace and just the types of women that are being marketed to us online, in person, in real life, their standards, what they want in a man, how they view men. Like she said, all men are trash. That's the mentality, the Indian girl earlier. So we got a lot of issues when it comes to dating. And I just think that if you are a guy, I think MGTOW in monk mode is probably the best choice for every single man, especially in your 20s, because you need to grind. You need to get yourself established. You need to build your assets. You need to build your repertoire of, whatever that might be in your own profession. But it's tough right now. It really is tough right now. And I think men are being silenced. Men are being pressured to shut up and just not speak how we feel. And the social media algorithms are also helping with that, to silence men, especially like myself. And we're not going for it no more. And the only way that we can really make an impact is to withdraw from the whole system and the whole social contract, from the beginning. So that's pretty much all I got. But y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Reclaiming Throne. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Send a relationship request to the email down below with a screenshot of your CashApp so I know you're paying your tithes, man. Y'all need to be your mark freaking name with the BS. You already know. Reclaim your throne.
Want to become an elite level athlete? Well, look no further. The Reclaim Your Throne Elite D1 training course is all you need to take your performance from subpar to the creme de la creme of athletes all around the world. The purpose of this course is to give you a comprehensive weight training, speed, flexibility, recovery, and endurance program that is meant to prepare young athletes for collegiate and professional sports. This course is packed with over 2 hours of creative, action-packed lifts narrated and coached by yours truly to assure increased strength, speed, flexibility, recovery, and endurance. Hey, I get it. Training alone can be tough and can even make you feel misguided or somewhat unmotivated. But with this course, I walk you step by step through each and every lift to make sure you're using the proper form to prevent injuries and that you're hitting the correct muscle groups to render maximum results. So what are you waiting for? It's now or never. So go ahead and get the training course today so you too can reclaim your throne.